writing style. Tell me I'm wrong. Are we ready for this? Very young adult. Good morning everyone and welcome back to another vlog. We are doing a weekend of reading together. I wish I could say that I have like a really fun weekend planned ahead. I mean, I personally think I do, but I am sick. I have not been very well this week, which means that I'm just going to be staying at home and resting and relaxing. So I thought, why not spend the weekend together? That way I'm a little bit less alone at home. I feel like I'm doing something a little bit productive with my time. But also we get to read together, which is always fun. If you're new here, hi, my name is Emmy. I make videos about reading and books and vlogs and just everything pretty much. And if I'm not uploading videos here, I'm pretty much daily uploading to my book talk. So much fun. I love book talk, honestly. I ramble a lot about books, especially over there, and we just hit 10k on my book talk. I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying my rambling. I know I've had some comments from some of you guys saying that you've come over from book talk, so yeah, thank you for joining. Today is actually the 1st of June, which I cannot believe we're 6 months into this year already, but if you watched my June TBR video or you've seen my TBR over on my book talk, I have quite a lot of books to get through. I have 6 books that I picked from my TBR jar, Choose As My Reads, and then I picked another 6 on TikTok, but I actually already read one of them. I finished it yesterday. It was the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. I got a head start because honestly I ran out of books to read in May. So I started on my June TBR, which is never a bad thing. But if you watched my last reading vlog, which was another 24-hour reading vlog, I read Guild, the first book in the Plated Prisoner series, and I had ordered, after finishing that book, the rest of the series to come, and it has come. So I think that's what I want to start reading today, because I get through those books very quickly. I mean, well, I got through the first one very quickly. It was so easy to read, so I feel like I need something fast-paced today to get me into the groove. I know for a fact we're going to read that book in one sitting, so we're probably going to read a couple books this weekend. But enough chatting, let's start the reading. So I've been reading this for just under an hour now. We're around 100 and something pages in, and this is just so easy to read. If you haven't watched my May wrap up where I talk about like the first one, or you've not heard of the Plated Prisoner series, essentially the first book is called Guild. All of the books begin with a G. They're all to do with gold. So Guild, Glint, Gleam, Glow, I think Goldfinch is the next one. As I said, known as the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy, and I hear like some mixed opinions and reviews and thoughts on these books. So going into them, my expectations weren't like super high because I had no idea what to expect. But the number one thing I would hear people say when talking about these books is get through the first book because the rest are so much better. I read the first book and I kind of understand that. The first book to me felt like a novella. It was such a short story and it was essentially just world building. Like there wasn't really too much of like a plot or a narrative. It was just, here's this character, here's some background information, here's what's happening right now and what's about to happen. Yeah, I didn't really dive deeper further into the narrative or develop it. I've started book 2 and the characters already feel like a lot more fleshed out than in the first book. Like we're getting way more. God, the dogs in the neighborhood today are going mental. Yeah, already I have like a very clear understanding of these characters and who they are and their morals and intentions, and I think what is going to happen and develop just based off what we've heard from the characters alone. It's sort of guiding my mind on where I think the plot is going to go, or the story that's going to unfold. I think the writing in this is very beautiful. Personally, I'm a big fan of it. Raven Kennedy seems to have, at least in these books, I've not read her other ones, but a very specific style of writing. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but when I'm reading it, I'm like, yes, this is her style of writing. It's not distracting at all, but it is very beautiful. And I can't pinpoint exactly what that is, but like the way she is constructing her sentences, I don't know. I just think it's quite beautiful. Maybe it's because I'm just used to such casual books, especially with reading the Zodiac Academy. I talk about the Zodiac Academy so much because it's one of my favorite series ever, but the books are very colloquial. Like they're very casual in writing style, especially compared to like Sarah J Maas books, which is also another big fantasy world, but it's a lot more intense. There's a lot of heavy world building and words to understand and brain power you need. I feel like Carissa Broadbent also, I feel like her books also require a lot of brain power to read. I love her writing, but to get into the fantasy books you need to really use your brain and concentrate. Whereas like in Zodiac Academy, as I said, it's very colloquial. The language is very casual. It's almost like reality TV. Like it's that level of brain power you need to understand it. It's just a good fun story. Is it the best writing? No, but it's such a great story. Whereas this is sort of in between the two. Like I love the writing, I think the writing's beautiful, but I don't think it's a difficult story to understand or a world to grasp. Does this make any sense? Like, I don't know. Personally, I think it's very fast paced. It's been very easy for me to just sit and read. As I said, I really love the writing style, but it's also not difficult to understand. It's a King, have I even spoken about the plot? It's a King Midas retelling. So King Midas, everything he touches turns to gold, but gold and wealth doesn't always equal happiness type of thing. So the main female character, Oren, in this, she is a gold human. She is King Midas's favoured, and she's kept in a gold cage in his gold castle. So she's sort of his prisoner, but she has a history with him and she loves him. He saved her off the streets when she was like 15, and it follows Oren and it's her perspective and what she's going through. But book 2 has switched. We have some chapters in perspective of the queen, who is King Midas's wife, and Oren. I can't really go too much into the plot without spoiling stuff that happens in the first book, even though the first book to me felt like a novella and background stuff, but the way it ends, it sets up this book. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's very easy for me to wrap my head around and binge, so I'm just going to sit and continue reading because I'm very much enjoying this. Took a little pause to have some food and walk Cooper. It's actually 4 p.m. now. So I've had like a late lunch, early dinner, and the YouTube video that I've just uploaded has gone live because that's typically the time that I upload. I try to upload on like a Tuesday, Wednesday and a Saturday. My upload schedule is not strict at the moment, but I'm aiming for 2 videos a week and around that time of split. So I've just uploaded, and my favorite thing in the whole world is getting comments on my videos. It's like when I see the views and people are watching it, it doesn't connect that people are actually watching my videos until they comment. So I get very excited when people comment. Lucy's just commented, babe wake up, Emmy just posted. And Selene also said yay, another Emmy vlog. Cooper is playing with the toy as well, sorry about that. But yeah, it is ridiculously hot, so I think I'm gonna have like a cold shower and get comfy again, and then sit on the couch and continue reading. But when I was having food, I was watching some book vlogs, and on TikTok, obviously, I've had this idea in my mind that I really want to reread ACOTAR and Throne of Glass this year. Like I'm gonna do it because I didn't annotate or like tab any pages while I was reading it, but I can't stop thinking about it. I literally have quotes from it inked on my body, and I want to be able to go back and do a reread and like pick up on the bits I just didn't pick up on the first time and like connect things, but also just like tab my favorite quotes. But I really want to do that, but that's going to be so time consuming. So I think I'm going to maybe pick up the books and reread them alongside while I'm reading other things slowly over like a month or 2. But I thought I might film a video of me reading ACOTAR. So like a whole video of like me reading all of the ACOTAR books in one video, but it would obviously be my reread. And same for Throne of Glass, because I never got to vlog myself reading those because they're the books that got me into reading, kickstarted, you know, my reading content. So I kind of want to go and do that. But then I was thinking, I read A Court of Mist and Fury and I had an audiobook version of it, but not the graphic audio. I had the graphic audio for A Court of Silver Flame, and I loved listening to the graphic audio alongside reading the book. If you don't know what it is, it's called Graphic Audio. That's the company that produces these audiobooks. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But it's a full cast for the book. So instead of one person just narrating an audiobook, a full cast, so characters will have a single person dedicated to acting them. There's sound effects, there's music, there's a narrator. It basically, when you're reading, it's immersing you in. So it feels like you're watching a movie. And you have everything except the visuals. But your mind makes the visuals from what you're hearing and what you're reading. And it was like the best experience ever. I think that's also why I loved A Court of Silver Flames. But like this is an example of what I mean, like the audiobook is.
Until he flung open the family library's doors.
What the fuck happened?
Nesta was sitting in an armchair before the dark fireplace. I don't want to talk to you. His heart thundered.
That's what the graphic audiobook sounds like. I hope I don't get in trouble for having put that in this video. I want to reread with all the graphic audiobooks, but the issue I have is that the actors are American, which is, you know, of course, but the guy who plays Reese doesn't sound like Reese in my head. And when I was reading the books, I had such a specific voice in my head for Reese that listening to this and like the first 3 books I think would just be like really jarring for me. It just like would feel weird and like cringy. But I saw this TikTok edit. Now I've always said Reese to me sounds like Enzo from the Vampire Diaries. That is the voice I have in my head. Not like the actor, just the voice. And I found this TikTok and you can't tell me that this isn't Reese, okay?
Temptation 1, Enzo. Hello, gorgeous.
Change gorgeous to darling, and that's Reese. Tell me I'm wrong. Anyways, we're not even reading actor. I've gotten so sidetracked, but I am sweating. So I think I'm gonna get into some shorts and then continue reading because I am loving the Plated Prisoner series. Depending on how this book ends, because I've only got like 100 pages left, I might just pick up the 3rd book because I want to keep reading. I'm definitely a type of girly who likes to finish one book series at a time. When I'm doing like 24-hour reading challenges, or if I just, you know, get a little bit bored, I like to pick up other books to switch it up so it's not the same thing. But if I pick up a book series and I'm going to read the whole thing, I'm going to be committed. I'm going to want to read from book 1 until the very end, all in one sitting. I literally did that yesterday with Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. I read all 3 books back to back. And this is making me want to do it. There is so much tension happening in this. The characters, the character developments, the relationship, or I should say dynamic, between the characters right now is just so good. I feel like we're getting some foreshadowing of what's to come. There's 2 teams, but I think there's probably gonna be 3 teams, maybe even 4. Things are developing. So I get it. When everyone said like, you gotta get past book 1, you do have to get past book 1 because again, I'm just, in my head, it's still a novella. It's not even a part of the story, it's just an introduction. This is the real stuff. This is good. That was the best way to end the book, but it means we need to go and start the next one immediately. This is a big book. Each book in the series, I feel like just doubles in size. This is 663 pages. Are you kidding me? It's also printed smaller than the last ones. So this is definitely gonna take me probably today and tomorrow to read this. But I am excited. I feel like this is where it's gonna get really good. I have a feeling this is probably gonna be the best book in the series. I don't know why, I feel like book 1 was an introduction, setting up. Book 2, we started to meet the main players in the story and a narrative started to actually form. Things started to develop. We started to see these characters get fleshed out, but I feel like this is where the fun is gonna happen. Things are gonna get crazy. We just had a big plot twist at the end with the cliffhanger. We're gonna see what happens next, so I am very excited. I need to start this straight away. Are you ready to start this book with me? Are we ready for this? I think we are. just read chapter 16 of Gleam. I cannot stop giggling. I am officially ridiculously obsessed with The Flight of Prisoner. Also, my reading setup in bed with the airport neck pillow, 10 out of 10. Good morning, it is the next day. You know you're really enjoying a book when you wake up early the next day so you have more time to read it. That is what happened today. I am reading Gleam. I'm on chapter 27, which Goodreads says is 59% of the way through the book. I'm definitely going to finish this today. Depending on how it ends, I might pick up Glow, but I don't get my hands on a copy of Gold for another like 2 weeks because it's only been out in hardcover, but I have all the books in paperback, so I was like, I can wait 2 weeks for the paperback release. But can I? This is so good. When people are talking about the Plated Prisoner series, they mean this. They don't mean guilt. They mean like this. I think I'm realizing that like a slow burn is my favorite trope. I just can't do that whole like insta-lovey thing, and like this is a slow burn. So my plans for today are just to keep reading, and that's what we're gonna do. I just finished 663 pages of Gleam. I loved this. When I was hearing things about the Plated Prisoner series and people talking about it, like, this is what I wanted. This is what I was expecting. This level of plot and interest and writing. I realized I don't give that many 5 stars out. I actually didn't realize until someone commented on one of my like wrap-up videos on TikTok. I only really give like 3 or 4 5 stars out a month out of like 30 plus books. So I think I've given like 12 5 stars out this year so far out of the 94 books that I've read. A lot of the 5 stars I have given though are like parts of series or later books in series. Rarely any book series that I give 5 stars off straight from the jump, other than Powerless and Lightlark and Akatar. But even Throne of Glass wasn't a 5-star series to start with, and that's one of my favourite series ever. So I have a habit of giving 5 stars to books when I'm like partway through the series. I think I just have developed more of an emotional connection to the characters, pretty much. But like I said, book 1, Guild, to me, I could see book 1 and book 2 could have been combined and just been one really great book. But I don't think that book 1 is bad. I gave it 3 stars because it was just world building, and I like to see it as almost like an introductory prequel to the story to come. Like, this is the world, this is what's happening, these are the main players in the game, and then at the end, you know, the narrative starts to kick in. And I think it's like a taste of what's to come. You get a taste of the pace, a taste of the writing style. It's vulgar, it's dark, and straight off the bat you're going to know whether you're going to keep reading or not. So I feel like it serves a purpose, but I feel like the story starts in book 2. This was so good. I love the fact that it's almost 700 pages. I love that. There wasn't any part of this that I thought needed to be edited or cut out or that I didn't love, which is why it's 5 stars. Again, 5 stars is a feeling, 5 stars is a vibe, and this gave me those 5-star feelings. I think I'm going to hold off from picking up the next book because I don't get the 4th one for like 2 weeks. And I think I might pick up something else to read. I think we start Twin Crowns because that's on my TBR for the month. I think that's what we're going to do. So it's a little bit later. I'm like halfway through this book right now, and I have to say it's very wholesome, very young adult. Even though I've been reading like adult fantasy books, it's very young adult, and not in like the writing particularly, like it's very easy to understand, obviously, not complicated, very light-hearted, cozy, magical, but like the issues that the characters face, such as like trusting each other or like betrayal of trust, is so minor compared to like other things I've been reading. It's quite cute how naive one of the main characters is, but that's, I mean, she's literally a princess that's been brought up away from society and is supposed to be innocent and naive and doesn't know any better. It's part of her character. But it's always so funny when I go from like young adult to adult. I feel like there's a lot of young adult books that feel like they could be new adult books, like Light Luck and Powerless, things like that. This though does feel like young adult, but I am enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the two different plot lines that are happening with the two different characters, and I'm really enjoying the story and like the little romantic tension and like the individual storylines that they've got. I think it's very sweet, so I'm going to continue reading. I probably will finish this tonight, so we'll keep reading.